it's probably time to start working on the NSR again. So it's been a little bit. Let's get into it. If you haven't been following along, we're building this 1990 NSR250 with the, of course, the Rothman steel. Super rare bike, well, at least in Canada. It's a V-twin two-stroke, pretty lightweight, should be just awesome. But what we've been doing is I got these carburetors on, and I just marked the main jet and the slow jet size just on the top, so I'd remember. We went a little bit richer fuel wise than the stock jets, but I ran some cables. I got these painted. I got some radiator hoses, very high quality radiator hoses, but they'll do. Clip-ons are on, grips and stuff. I got a master cylinder and a little brake switch and everything. I managed to tidy up the Kickstarter. I needed to weld a little bit. I don't know if you can just tell. I welded on that because this was touching the frame there, so welded it. Now it's good. Ran all the wire harness. That still needs to run through there, but we're just working on connections here. New rad hoses there. Okay, we got some cables run. I'm gonna put those on the subframe and the radiator. You may remember that ugly stock one. She's pretty rough and it's twisted up and not great. So we got this guy, cheap out of China, but it's straight. And I had to make some little spacers to go on the frame there, just because for whatever reason this one seems a little wider than the stock one, but it's fine, we can spin spacers. And I made a little mount for the bottom because I don't have the stock one, but that one should hold it. Let's put it on. All right, radiator is on. Got my hoses done, clamps and stuff on. I think that's pretty good. And we got I was gonna use the stock bird cage, but instead I, spent some time making an aluminum one. Let's throw that on. Okay. Let's just kind of set some bolts in there for now. But that should all line up. I made some reinforcement on there. It's not real pretty at the top there, but it should be strong enough. And there should be another post that goes up here or over here. Can't remember, but it looked like it broke off. So that should be enough to keep everything tight. Got that cleaned up a bit. And for the subframe, that stock one was pretty ugly and twisted up, so I built one. And it really didn't take very long. I just kind of spent every night for the past, I don't know, 2 months working on it. Easy. And that let's put that up there. That's where that should go. Obviously I'll tighten everything up, but that is made to hold one of those. Nice little super lightweight lithium battery. This thing it's very small, but it'll start just about every bike we own, which is crazy. And this is where I think I'm gonna mount the ECU. I made a little piece for the license plate. But yeah, that let me see here. That should go right in there. I don't know which way I'm going to mount it yet. Maybe that way. And that'll bolt right to the bottom there. Gonna hold like that. But I think all the wires should fit in here. I've been fiddling with it for a while, and we'll just try and fish some wires through and find the perfect spot for everything. It's all a bit of a sort of a mix of stuff, so we'll try and run some wires and see the best way to run them in here. All right, so I got some more stuff done. We just kind of got some stuff sitting in here right now. ECU, all of that stuff kind of snugged up for now. Just a temporary ground where I'm going to mount the fuel tank. Got some hoses run. I got, I think, most everything that I need to have buttoned up to make it run done. So I got a rear, not that it needs to run, but I got a rear brake hose. I'm still waiting on some stuff for the front ones, but made a rear brake hose there. I'm just going to use just a pressure switch. You can get, like, the stock one had like a pole sensor, and this one's just a pressure switch, which I like. It's pretty clean, and you don't have to like have a spring and the whole deal on there. So I don't have any fluid in there or anything yet, but I think I'm ready to maybe pull it out of here. And it's decent out today, so I might try and see if it'll make a noise or two, make some smoke. You just remember, we haven't had this one running. I was sent a video of it running before we got it, but I've never actually seen it run or heard it. So this I'd like to just make sure that the engine and everything sounds okay. Nothing comes firing out of there. I've got the pipes painted, and I'm just going to use the stock pipes and whatever silencers this thing came with. So just to see if it starts, and hopefully we have all the gears and everything in there. I don't have a chain or anything on it, but I should be able to shift it up through, and I can kind of look in and see that the sprocket's moving. But we got to try and get it out of here. It's in the basement right now. We got to see if we can get it to the garage. All right, we're outside, and I've got everything kind of hooked up here. Got fuel on. Just sorting through some vent hose. I had a couple of hoses capped there that were actually carb vent hoses that I decided that was not the right way to do it. So made some changes, and it's coming. I got a front fender kind of loosely mounted on there before I didn't get it out last time I said I was gonna. So I got a front fender kind of mounted on there. I've just made some brackets to hold it. And it needs a little bit of work because it's rubbing there, but that's sort of a work in progress. But got the subframe kind of all bolted up, and everything looks all right. So, moment of truth. Let's see if it starts. Don't worry about this. That's still loose. If anybody's seeing that, then it's just the way it is for now. Yeah, let's see if it'll start. I do have power. I guess we'll probably need choke. Oh. Okay, so like in the last video clip, you might notice that it was like getting a little bit kind of sluggish and kind of died out. And I was like messing around. Kind of sounded like I was losing fuel, like like maybe it just wasn't getting fuel. But my little lithium battery, I went and it has like a little thing on the top, and you can check the volt or check the percentage of charge, and it was like almost dead. So I don't think I'm charging. So anyway, I got this hooked up. Let's try this again. So I got this like massive battery set up, but makes the lights on the dash go real quick. Dog gets very excited. Another thing I had a bit of an issue with was it was hanging the RPM up a little bit higher when I had it started there. I'm gonna turn that. Well, it was off. Anyway, drain the carbs. It was hanging the RPM up, but the slides were not all the way closed. So like, I didn't adjust the idle. It was just already kind of up. So I pulled the slides back down, adjust the idle down. Now seems a lot more crisp, so I'm happy with that. I got to figure out why it's not charging that battery. I checked the connector on the stator, and it seems like we've got resistance there, the correct amount of resistance. So now it's just maybe figure out what the voltage regulator is doing. What do you think of that? We're a lot closer than we were. It's been it's winter. It's been winter in Nova Scotia, so things are getting better. So that's makes me feel good that it actually runs, even if it's not charging. That's minor right now, but it runs, and it should be just a wicked little bike. So, well, on to the next one. Thanks for watching.